Let's see him. Hello? Yes? We just had our roof replaced like 2 years ago. Thank you. I really need to fix that thing. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Ian Douglas. I'm going to get it into some coding today. So I don't know if it's going to be Python or if we're going to get into C#. I'm not really sure, but we're going to get some coding going. I really want to get our YouTube chat into the giveaways. So we're going to try and figure out a way to get that brought in here. So right now my chatbot's only paying attention to Twitch. So we've got a couple of different ways that we can go here. We can either get like a YouTube API kind of thing pulled into my existing code, or we can have the giveaway do the same, like have StreamerBot, which is another platform that I use for some things on the stream, and write some code in C#, which basically will take your chat messages from YouTube and push them into the same Airtable database. And do the same sort of logic checking that I'm doing, whether or not you're already in the giveaway in the Python code. And we'll kind of replicate that in C#, which I'm not as familiar with. So we can either learn some C#, or I can try to figure out how to do the YouTube API stuff in Python. So what's up, Justin? Good to see you. Who's excited for RMRRF? What's RMRRF? I don't know those letters. I mean, they're letters of the alphabet. Is there something going on? You can't believe this weekend. I mean, last weekend was pretty chill. It's this weekend. Something going on this weekend? Hey, Almighty Malachi, good to see you as well. No, nothing going on. I mean, Justin's going all caps here, so we know there's something big going on. No, just kidding. Yeah, Rocky Mountain Rap Festival, looking forward to it. I'm going to be bringing some fun stuff. I'm actually going to bring the dragon, I think, and put that on display. I've got my Spider-Gwen I'm going to bring, and I'm going to have like some of my 3D printed dragons and stuff like that. I'm going to try laser etching a few things to show at my table as well, so it should be fun. Bring my Mark IV, that's the plan. Bring the Mark IV, bring the Voron, and let's see, what else am I bringing? I mean, I'm just going to bring stuff to show at the table, so yeah, it should be fun. Should I bring the bamboo? I mean, the last time, Justin, you and I mentioned, you had mentioned that a lot of other people were bringing bamboos. And if it's only an 8-foot table, it's going to get kind of crowded if I've got like 3 big printers on there. Well, I mean, the Mark IV is not very big, but if I got the Voron on one end and the bamboo on the other and the Mark IV in the middle, maybe? I mean, I could bring it. I mean, it's not that big a deal to bring it, but the last I heard from you is that there were going to be a lot of other bamboos there. I mean, I could bring it. Doesn't really hurt anything to bring it. I could just bring it and put it in the car, and if I want it, I can bring it out. If not, I can just leave it in the car. Either way, it's not a big deal. Cool. We got Mark H in the giveaway. Almighty Malachi. I don't know if your entry actually got picked up. So if you want to try Bang giveaway again, make sure that you're in there. Let me go pull up my emails here, or at least my online database thing. Let's see whether Almighty Malachi actually got in the giveaway. Yeah, you did. Okay, so Almighty Malachi, you are in for the giveaway for tonight. So cool. Welcome by, everybody. So yeah, exclamation point giveaway. What are we going to give away tonight? That is the question. What are we going to give away? I've got 3D printed dragons. I'm making more 3D printed dragons. Thursday night, because it's Maker Night, I'm going to give away something I made. So Thursday night, we're going to give away the Slave 1 Boba Fett ship that I airbrushed and went through and painted. So this is going to be our giveaway Thursday night. And it is all glued together. So the box will be fairly sizable, which will make shipping a little spendier than usual. But we're gonna give away the Boba Fett ship. If there are any Star Wars fans out there, that'll be our giveaway on Thursday. For tonight, what are we gonna give away? Convince me. What are we gonna give away? We got dragons. We got laser etchings. I have a couple of laser etchings that I need to do for this weekend. And I've got a couple other things that I want to make as well. I've got some maker coins already made up, ready to go. I've got some dragons in a box. I got some other just little giveaways and knickknacks and things like that that I'm going to have at my table. I want to make like a sign or something with the Ian Douglas 736 on there and see if I can just set that on the table or something so that people know who I am as they wander by. I'll probably whip something up in the next day or so. So I'll be out, Justin, I'll be out sometime Friday, like late afternoon-ish. I'm not sure what time the place opens for us to come and set up, or what time it's open until to actually set up. So Justin, if you're still hanging out in chat, let me know. What's the timing on that? So RC Maniac is flying into town. I'm picking him up at the airport from 2 until 8. Okay, yeah, that'll be plenty of time. Did you save me a good spot for where my maker table is going to be, or is it just like a free for all and you just grab whatever you can? It's in the Eventbrite. Cool. So I'm picking up RC Maniac from the airport like mid-afternoon sometime, and then by the time we get up there, it'll be close to dinner time. We'll set up and then we'll probably grab a bite to eat with whoever else is around. But I'm looking forward to meeting a whole bunch of people. There's a lot of people here in chat, I think, that are coming, and lots of other people from other channels that are going to be coming out too. So I'm really excited, looking forward to meeting everybody for sure. I only have a single half table ticket, right? No, I got 3 tickets, and you told me that was enough to get a full table. So you told me when I was asking about getting tickets, getting 1 ticket was enough for a half table. And I said, well, should I get my kid, like one of my kids, a ticket? Because then I would get a whole table. And you said yes. And then I got a 3rd ticket on top of that. So I've got 3 tickets. Is that not enough for a full table? Because I've been going on the assumption this whole time that I was going to have a full table. Anyway, Westery, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. I did post pictures on the Instagrams of the dragon. I got the dragon pretty much finished up. I got the face of it painted up. And so I put just a tiny drop of 3D gloop on there just to hold the head on there. And I got some pictures real quick. And then and then the head fell off because it was just a tiny spot of glue. Message you after the stream. You have 1 exhibitor and 2 general admission. I asked you about that when I was buying the tickets, and you said that's what I needed to do. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. I mean, if I've only got a half table and I've only got a half table, then that's fine too. But yeah, I thought we'd sorted that out. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Not a big deal. But if I've only got a half table, then there's no way I'm bringing 3 printers, because that's not going to fit on a half table. If it's an 8-foot table, I've only got 4-foot space. That's not going to be enough. So get in on the giveaway. We're trying to figure out what we're going to give away tonight. And go follow Westery as well. Westery's got some really neat stuff that she's 3D printing, and also getting back into getting back into some laser engraving. I want to show that. So I sent Westery some pictures of this. Let me pull this up here. Where'd it go? I want to be careful about how much of that I show. So no, I'm not going to show those pictures. I will show other pictures. Photos. Yeah, we'll do this. So, so I've got some new keychains that I'm going to be laser etching as well. Let me see if I can pull up this browser window here. Let me go over to here, and we'll go over to here, we'll go over to here, and over to here, and then we'll do one of these. So I've got these new wood keychains, and on the laser engraver, because the laser engraver knows exactly like where to move things, and I like to start from that bottom left corner, like home position. So I actually modeled out a way for me to put these little keychain blanks down so that I know in the software in Lightburn exactly where to put things, so then I can just go in and like etch the things out. And so I sent a picture of this over to Westery because Westery wants to get into laser engraving some leather keychains. I'm like, well, send me the dimensions and I'll make something similar. So it's going to be similar to the circular one here that we see, but the leather ones are more like a teardrop style. And so I'll need to extend this down a little bit here, but also allow for like the little snap and things like that, and then the keychain to have something to rest onto, and then that way the leather will lie flat, because that's really what I wanted to do with these wood keychains, because the wood is thinner than that ball that holds the actual keychain, like the circle thing that you put the keys on. That ball is actually wider than the wood. And so if I just lay that flat on the honeycomb thing, unless the honeycomb, it would potentially move the keychain out of place for that little ball to fall down in one of the little honeycomb spots. So I wanted a tray that could go underneath the wood and sort of lift that wood up so that ball would sink down a little bit, and then the wood would be perfectly flat for the laser engraving. Just that way it's not like, sitting like this at a, drastic example, but it's not sitting crooked like that while it's trying to laser etch. So hopefully that'll level that out. So yeah, it'll be fun. Let's see if I can put something together for Westery on that. But yeah, go give Westery a follow as well. Rambo, good to see you. Am I still doing resume reviews? Yep, absolutely. But I do those on Sundays. Tuesday is coding time, and Thursday is craft time. And this coming Sunday, I'm actually not going to be streaming because I'm going to be at this Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. So I will not be streaming Sunday morning this week. I may or may not. I mean, if there are resumes that come in, and there's like a lot of resumes that come in, I may stream Sunday night, but I doubt it. As of right now, I'm not planning on streaming on Sunday. I might do like Monday night, because we've got some other friends coming into town, and I'm taking Friday and Monday off to spend some time with friends and do the Rocky Mountain thing. Also, not sure, Rambo, if you are also the person from YouTube, but someone else asked over on YouTube if I'm still doing resume reviews. So yes, I am, but not on Tuesdays. I'm generally doing those on Sundays now. If something really urgent comes up, you can certainly send me your resume anyway. Here's the link for it, and I'll paste that over in YouTube and on Kick as well. If you would like a resume review, you absolutely can. Hey, Mark H is hanging out over on Kick as well. Thanks for the eyeballs and the follow over there. Appreciate that. So yeah, if you want a resume review, you can always send me your resume. And if you want a private review, we can talk about like when to schedule that and do those. Hey, Mighty Bean, good to see you as well. We get a half table, but vertical space is free. Sweet. So I'll just stack everything up vertically. We'll have unlimited space. Problem solved. You could stream at the event. We have great Wi-Fi. Maybe. That might be, well, it'd be weird though, like talking to people about career development and resume reviews while I'm like, I'm sitting there with 3D printed stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I should just apply anyway for the time being, right? Before you, yeah. Well, apply for the job. I mean, if you're applying for a job and your resume is not ready, then that application is not going to be as effective as if we can get you some feedback on that resume. So send me the resume ahead of time. I can take a peek at it and we can chat. So yeah. Learner, good to see you as well. Thanks for the follow earlier. I saw a follow come in from Learner about an hour ago, so thanks for that. Thanks for the follow off stream. Good to have you by. Yeah, let's see. Kick.com/IanDouglas736 if anybody wants to join over there. Yep. So I try to use Ian Douglas 736 on all the platforms where I can. And you'll send it tomorrow? Yep, sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, just send that over and we'll address it from there. I've also got, so Rambo, here's a link to my YouTube channel as well. I've also got a ton of resume reviews on there. You can kind of watch those ahead of time and you'll kind of get a sense of the kinds of things that I mentioned about, like just common things that I tend to see in resumes. So there's a playlist where it's just a couple of resumes, well, I mean, it's a handful of resumes, but there are a handful of videos. And each of those will have like one or more resumes on the review, on that review video. So you're welcome to check that out. So you've been watching a couple of those. All right, sweet. So you'll already have an idea of like the kinds of stuff that I would look for, but feel free to send over the resume anyway. And just put a note in there if it's semi-urgent and you want to apply for something really soon, just let me know. You're at 2,500 attendees. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be really great. Hope all of those people show up. That would be madness, but it'll be fantastic. Justin, I did want to ask too, do the tables, like, are they like the typical sort of like fold down wooden tables? Are there, like, should I bring a tablecloth or something to put over the table? That would be really good to know. I mean, I can bring a tablecloth. It's no big deal. So you wish you were going. Sounds like it's going to be a blast. I wish you were going too. Get on it. Get in the car. It's an 18-hour drive, right? So you could be here in time. You're just choosing not to be here. That's all it is, Westry. It's not that you can't be here. You're choosing not to be here. Just kidding. Plastic tables with 100-pound capacity. Bring a table covering if you want. Cool extension cord. Yeah, I'm bringing an extension cord, surge protector. I'm bringing all that stuff. And yeah, I'll bring some sort of table covering then. You're on the other end of the world, unfortunately. Yeah, that would be a little tricky for sure. Road trip. You could totally do a road trip. I love me a road trip. Love me a road trip. Sweet. Yeah, so let's get into coding. So what I really want is I really want to get my YouTube chat hooked up to the giveaway. So when you do exclamation point giveaway on YouTube, that you're also getting into the giveaway, and it'll also respond over there saying like whether or not you got an entry and how many entries you have and stuff like that. Can Mia come since I don't have boarding and gas money? Yeah, that would be problematic. Did I get the paw print from you, Westry? Yeah, you sent me the paw print. Yeah, so I'm gonna rasterize that into an SVG, and then I can laser etch those things for you, and I'll send you the SVG so you can also laser etch them as well. In fact, you can also then bring that SVG into like Tinkercad and put a thickness on it, and then you can 3D print it as well if you want to do something with a 3D print. So yeah, get in on the giveaway. The giveaway tonight will be international. Every entry into the giveaways will give you an entry for the dragon back here. Let me go grab the head and show you what the head looks like now that it's painted up. So I added some paint in the mouth. It's a little hard to see with these lights because the lights are really bright, but got some eyeballs on there. And there we go. We got some epic wind going on. So I'm going to bring this to the show. I'm going to have to try to figure out some way of like attaching this onto the body in a way that's not like permanently glooped on there if I can help it, because I would prefer to ship it in pieces. Just makes it a little, kind of puts my mind at ease that it's going to get there in one piece. But I'll figure that out. But yeah, I would love to get this at the show. I do have the horns for it. Now the horns have not been painted. But these are the horns that I've got right now. It snapped off. Okay, there we go. So there's two horns that go on each side of the head. So on the head, you've got these two holes right here. You've got one at the top of the head up here, and then you've got one down on the jaw. And so you've got two horns. You've got a short horn and a really long horn. And that short horn goes down here on the bottom, kind of like that. And you can choose to kind of put it in at whatever angle you want. It's just a rounded edge on that side. And then the large horn, same kind of thing. You can just put it in there and you can point it up, you can point it down, you can point it, out to the side, you can point it in towards the body, however you want to position those. So generally I've been shipping these separately. So whoever wins the dragon, you can put these on yourself. I'm probably going to put a light coat of paint on these because they are that dark blue that I 3D printed everything in. So it's kind of this dark blue right now. And, we want it to kind of match. So I may just airbrush these in white and just have like pure white horns. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to get the horns done, and then I'll probably attach the horns on the head. Well, actually, no, I don't want to do that because I want the person that gets it to do that themselves. I'll figure something out. I want to get these on the dragon and show it at the show. Or maybe I'll just bring it and I'll just hold the thing together and show people what it's going to look like. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Anyway, good times. Eagle Bread, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Hot glue, that's actually a pretty good idea because that can come off and then you can peel that out. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I think hot glue would be the way to go. And I do have a hot glue gun. Yeah, thanks for the idea there. Sounds good. So yeah, and ignore the Botrix live thing. It was something that I tried installing for Kick to have like a regular recurring message on Kick of like, hey, if you want to get in the giveaway, you need to come over to Twitch. But it's not actually showing that message on Kick on a regular basis. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, cool. Let's dive in. So again, I've got one of two choices. I can either implement the YouTube API in my existing chatbot, or I can basically connect StreamerBot to listen to YouTube chat. And when it sees a Bang giveaway, that it can do the same code that my Python code is doing, but do it in C#. I don't know C# as well. Free Heathen recommends that for his builds. It works great. Cool. Yeah. I did reach out to Free Heathen about collaborating on a project. And we're trying to figure out like all the different sort of stages of what this project is going to be. But the idea that I came up with was get him to design something. We'll get someone else to print that thing, ship it to me, and I'll paint the thing. And then one of the three of us will give it away on our stream. And we'll just keep doing that. Like he'll design something, give it to someone else to print. They'll ship it to me, I'll paint it, and then I'll give away that one. And then the next time around, I'll ship it back to Free Heathen. Free Heathen can give it away. You know, just something like that. It's fun painting stuff. I'm having a blast, like airbrushing and stuff like that. So those that didn't see this on the Monday Makes on the Loyal Moses channel, this is my Boba Fett Slave 1. I'm going to give this away on the stream Thursday night. So this will be our Thursday night giveaway. Tonight, I'm still looking for ideas on what y'all want me to give away on the stream tonight. Been hanging out on Westery's channel so much I'm saying y'all, but yeah, convince me on what to give away for the stream tonight. So I've got some 3D printed dragons. I could give one of those away. I've got plenty of 3D etching stuff I could do. I might be convinced to do like a coaster with a logo or something on like a little slate coaster maybe. Or I've got like the wood pieces. I've got like 4x6 pieces of wood, and I've got like little 4x4 pieces of wood, like this size. I could do some coasters. Oh, you know what I could give away? This could be an interesting one. I've got these welcome signs that I've airbrushed in some cool rainbowy colors. I could give one of these away. So we've got some choices. For all of you that came by the stream last Thursday when I was trying to give away a Lego kit and then y'all bailed, I drew name after name after name and everybody left. And then we got a really late raid. And so I gave it away to someone in that raid. So we ended up giving away the Lego kit. I was going to save it for another stream because we drew like 3 different names and nobody was here. I'm like, well, I'll just save it. And then we had a raid come in and I'm like, all right, well, convince me. And a bunch of them entered the giveaway. And so we drew a name and they got that Lego kit instead. So someone else got the Goofy and Pluto Lego Brickheads kit. So y'all. Thanks to Jen. I came across a really great and fun channel. Oh, you were on Teach Gen Tech. So yeah, I was on another live stream earlier today and teaching someone all about APIs and what APIs are and how they work in technology and stuff like that. Jen is fantastic to talk to and just really open to like learning all kinds of stuff. And I love the notion of learning in public. That's why I taught myself airbrushing here, and you know, I've been learning 3D printing and I've been doing laser etching, and I'm about to get into some C# code that I don't know really well. And I think it's fine to be kind of vulnerable and say, like, let's learn something. Let's learn it together. So if anybody here knows C#, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. We're going to get into some documentation and stuff like that as we go. But what I want to do is I want to get StreamerBot to connect to YouTube and be able to see the chat commands come in. And then we will use, we'll wait for that exclamation point giveaway command to come in. And then we'll have we'll go through and we'll actually figure out what the code is going to be to actually connect to Airtable, which is the online database that I use to store all this stuff. We'll get C# to connect to Airtable. And then we'll see, like we'll have to do a lookup, like, do you already have an entry? And if you already have an entry, then, you know, respond back and say you're already there. or if you are entered, then it'll go through and like count how many entries you've got. It's very similar to, you know, when you do exclamation point giveaway here. So it'll be a learning curve for sure. The learning curve might be a little steep. We're gonna have to try to figure out how to connect to Airtable, but that's all happening over APIs. So hopefully it'll be relatively straightforward to connect to the API and like send over everything that we need. I have to make sure I don't show everybody my API key to talk to Airtable, because that would be a huge security concern. But yeah, I think we'll dive in on that. We'll kind of see what's going to happen there. So on my coding screen that we've got over here, where I was showing you this, we're going to shut off that window. We're going to go back into coding. So this is my Python chatbot, where we're listening for things like the giveaway command. But the nice thing about this is I have Google Copilot installed. So if I come in here, I want to start a new file. See, I don't want to put it in static content. Let's go down here, maybe do a new file, and we're just going to call this C# chatbot. I think it's .cs for C#, if I remember right. And in here, we're gonna write some comments about connect to Airtable, and then look for username in gibberish in the giveaways table. If not there, save it in the table. Else let user know they are already entered, and return a count of number of entries. So this is basically what we want C# to do. So it looks like we had an import system or something in here. We're gonna have to try to figure out what else this needs to do. So I'm gonna let C# kind of tell me a little bit about what I may or may not need to do here. I don't even know what half of this stuff does. We're not going to need a SQL client because it's going to be Airtable. So yeah, I don't think we're even going to need some of this stuff. Like, it's not going to be threaded. We are going to need network. We're probably going to need some serialization to do JSON data. Learner says for the keys, you could probably use environment variables. Yeah, and I typically would, but the way that StreamerBot works, I'll actually have to put that stuff in like a global variable and then read that in from a global variable. So I have to make sure that I store that in my StreamerBot global variables in a way that doesn't expose it as part of like debugging and things like that. So I'll have to be really careful about like what I'm showing in the debugging stuff so I don't expose that API key, because to have to change that, I would have to change a lot of code. I've got a lot of things using Airtable. So I need to make sure that that I don't expose that. That's so unfortunate. What, exposing my API key? That would definitely be unfortunate. Like that would cause some serious headache if that API key leaked. So yeah, I might have to, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go back over to the browser. Let's do this. Let's get ChatGPT to help us out. Let me go log in on ChatGPT real quick. And we'll get ChatGPT to do this. So write me some C# for StreamerBot to connect to Airtable to look up and possibly save data in a table called giveaways. See if ChatGPT even knows how to do this. Your API key, your base ID, the table name. Here's the URL. So it's building out a whole bunch of code for us. And then we'll have to figure out like what are all the different commands that StreamerBot needs to have to actually send you a message back that it was able to do that. So this might give us enough of what we need. So it's building out a class for our Airtable response for a list of records. And that record has an ID and then a dictionary of all the different fields and stuff. So yeah, this might be all we need, or at least something to get us started here. Note that this code assumes that you've already set up an Airtable account and created a base with a table called giveaways. Yep, we've already got that. You enter the API key, etc., etc. All right. You may also have to modify the code to suit your specific use case, such as adding code to save a block or to save data back to Airtable. All right. Free Heathen, thanks for dropping in. So I was just telling everybody about the idea that I pinged you on Discord about, where it's like, let's do some sort of collaboration where you're like designing something and then we'll get someone else to print it and then I'll airbrush it and then we'll give it all away. I've been having a lot of fun with airbrushing. I don't know whether you saw the pictures of this or not, but here's my, this was my latest airbrushing of trying to put this together, mixing up the custom colors and stuff like that. This was someone else's model, not mine. But this was a lot of fun to go through and airbrush and like mix up all the paints and get everything going and do all the weathering and stuff. So we're going to give this away on Thursday. So on Thursday's stream, we're going to give that away. Thursday's stream may be a little bit late because we got some friends coming into town Thursday afternoon. They're going to get here sometime around dinner, maybe after dinner. I think we want to go out for dinner as a family. So when I do stream Thursday, it'll probably be pretty late to do that. The alternative would be for me to stream like sometime in the afternoon and do like a really early stream or a really late stream. So we'll see how that goes. It might end up being a really late stream. So we'll see how many people show up. But right now I'm not planning to stream Sunday morning. So if you need career help or anything like that, you can ping me offline and send me in a resume for a review, and we'll do those. If I can't get to it Sunday, I might do like a Monday night stream just to do the career stuff. So. Cool. Well, it looks like we got a little bit of code here that we can use to get started. I think for getting started, I think what I want to do is I want to see if I can even connect to Airtable and just do a connection and let me know whether the connection worked or not. Archangel, thanks for the follow. Give you some blinky lights here in the background. Thanks. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing good. All right, let's see. So let's get into StreamerBot. Need to go set up an action and stuff. So let me go in, let me share this screen as well, actually. So give me a second to add this as a source in OBS. We're going to add a window capture for StreamerBot. Wow, just naming it, it automatically pulled it straight in there. That was fantastic. All right, let's pull this in. So this is my StreamerBot setup. And I'll make this a little bit longer here so we can all see kind of what's going on. And then I will tuck this down behind me. We'll put this in here so that you can still see my pretty face. So what are we building? So every time I stream, I do a giveaway in the month of April. So every time I stream, you can do !giveaway. You see the chat command over here if you're on Twitch. But we have people watching over on YouTube. We have people watching over on Kick.com. Kick.com doesn't have a chat API per se. There's some people that are working on like chatbots and scraping things like that. That's this little bot rocks or bot Ricks Live or whatever that you see over here in chat. That's a chatbot that I had installed for Kick.com, but it's actually not doing anything at all on Kick.com. But for folks that want to watch on YouTube, they don't want to necessarily come over to Twitch, and I want them to be able to enter the giveaway as well. So what I want to do is I want to connect StreamerBot to my YouTube account so that people that are watching on YouTube can do !giveaway in chat, and that they can also get in the giveaway. So I've got some custom code that connects to a database, and it sees whether you already have a giveaway for that day. And if you do, then it tells you, hey, you're already in the giveaway. Botrix is the official for Kick? No, it's just one of the first ones I think that they've been working with, but they don't have an official API. So it could be that they're working with Botrix to kind of come up with that API, and then once that's all proven, maybe then they'll release the API for everybody else. So in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to use StreamerBot to listen to YouTube chat so that we can pull in the giveaway commands, connect to Airtable, see whether you already have an entry. If you don't, we'll save one. If you do, it'll just tell you, hey, you're already in here. And then also how many entries you have for the monthly giveaway. So every time I stream, you can get in the daily giveaway, and that gives you an entry to win that 3D printed dragon that I was just showing off. So the 3D printed dragon, I'm actually licensed now to sell these, both the print, and then I can like do the commission work to actually like paint these and so on. So I've got written permission now. I have a license to actually sell these. But for now, I'm just giving these away. So, well, I'm doing another one for a commission for a family member, but I'm not getting paid for that one because it's family. But this one we're going to give away on May the 2nd. And so every time I stream in April, come by, do exclamation point giveaway. We give away something little, like a little, laser engraved sign or a little 3D printed trinket of some kind. Although the last couple of streams we've been giving away like full 3D dragons. Not these ones, but like the articulating dragons. So tonight we're going to do something a little smaller, but I want people on YouTube to be able to get in the giveaway as well. So that's basically what we're working towards tonight. That's our agenda. So these are all kind of the different commands and stuff that we got in here. And so I need to come in here and build out like a giveaway. I tried pulling in like some other things for like, having points and things like that added to your account. Like as you're watching the stream, you accrue these points and you'll exchange those for like raffle tickets. I'm going to go through, this is all somebody else's code, but I'm going to go through and I'm basically in the process right now of designing all of that myself. I've been getting some ideas from Amish Ace, who does this kind of thing on his stream. And so I'm building like a whole new giveaway bot with him in mind, and I'll be beta testing it on my channel. Once it's kind of polished and working okay, I'm going to let Amish Ace use it. So in the meantime, we're going to come in here and we're just going to add a new command. No, I don't really want to do it in there. I'm going to do it under, I'll do it under custom commands. We're going to add a new one in here, and we're just going to call this YouTube giveaway. And default queue. All right, so now that that's built, we're going to come in here. We're going to add a sub action. And what we want to do is we want to run some C# code. We're probably just going to have it do a whole method, because I think I can still define things in there. Let's see. Oh, that needs something already built. All right, so I need to not do that one. So core C#, execute C# code. Okay. Except, it won't show that window. So let's come in here. We'll change our source over here to be a different streamer bot if we can. Or can we? It doesn't want to show the little sub window that pops up. That's annoying. What to do? Well, if I pick a different window, if I pick this one for a sec, and then I come back and say, I really want streamer bot, it doesn't have the second streamer bot even listed. That's annoying. Let's see if we can find it from here, maybe. There it is, streamer bot. Execute C#. All right, so here's the smaller window where we would actually be writing that code. Cool. Well, we're going to get in here and see what we can do. So I'm going to have to go look up documentation and so on as we go. So I'll be doing that over here in the browser. So we got a little bit of C# that I think we can probably use to get started. We've got a couple of imports here that we're going to have to do to actually go like talk over the internet. So I'm just going to paste those in that other code. And then we're going to have to figure out like how to use a different JSON encoder other than this Newtonsoft one, so I don't have to import other external libraries, I think. There is a, well, actually, I should be able to just ask ChatGPT, do that again, but use the native C# API for JSON. Oops, native, not natis, native for JSON encoding. Let's see if it'll rewrite that for us, but show us how to use. There we go. So system.text.json that we want to use instead of the Newtonsoft. Let's see this. So this is actually doing an async command with system.threading. I don't know that we have to do it as asynchronous though, because all of these things are going to be running in a thread anyway. So I don't know if I need to do this as asynchronous. I'm going to try and just do it as synchronous code to get us started here. Am I letting AI do? Oh, I'm not letting AI do my code. So Mark H, in all seriousness, when people ask me like, can I use ChatGPT to write code? I always tell them like, use it as inspiration, but don't copy it like word for word. Like I would never copy all of this and actually put this in real production code because I don't know where this code actually came from. Even if it is generated by OpenAI and ChatGPT, technically they own the copyright because they have created this. But I can look at this and go, oh, okay, I need to make a new HTTP client. This is the URL that I need to actually go talk to Airtable. And so I use this as inspiration, but I'm not just going to copy and paste this whole thing in here. So yeah, I use things like, I use tools myself, like Google Copilot, and I use tools like ChatGPT just as inspiration of like, give me an idea of like how to go do the thing. And so my prompt tends to be pretty vague. I'm not going in here saying, these are the exact steps or anything like that we want to do. Yeah, I just use this as an inspiration kind of thing. Could be fdisk in disguise. That's true. ChatGPT is super powerful, but I would say if you're learning to code, don't copy and paste unless you understand it. I mean, even if you do understand code, you should not copy and paste this code. Where this really comes into play, and I've talked about this on the stream in the past, is like when it comes to things like licensing and copyrights and so on. So yeah, GitHub Copilot, same kind of thing. Like, where is it getting its code from? As far as I know, Google Copilot is, or not Google Copilot, GitHub Copilot is basically looking at all of the public repos on GitHub, and it's kind of training itself on that. So when you say, how do I do this thing? It's using training data. But when it finds code, like how do I talk to this particular kind of database using Python, the code that it goes and grabs could be something that is directly copied from somebody else's project. And if I'm doing something for my company and my company wants to use a particular kind of software license for our code that says we're allowed to keep everything closed source, and we use a tool like ChatGPT or Google Copilot to go generate that code, and we copy that code into our code, wherever that code came from, if that license says, hey, if you use any of my code, you have to open source everything you do, now I've just put my company in a bad spot where I've copied that code. So technically and legally, I'm supposed to now open source everything that my company does, or at least whatever code that's involved in. And that has much, much larger ramifications. And so you never ever want to like copy and paste code from online documentation samples, code generators like this. You never want to use that in a real production system. Use it as inspiration, but don't actually just copy it as is, because that can really open a can of worms for you. I feel it's powerful for prototyping. Yeah, that's exactly what I use it for. It's just rapid prototype. Give me an idea of like, what is it I'm going to have to do here? And then I'm going to go do the thing. All right, so let's go take a look at what this thing was doing here again. So I don't think I'm going to worry too much about making this an asynchronous kind of task, but we are going to have to go grab these API keys. Some of these, like the base ID, I'm okay with that being in my code, but my API key, I'm going to grab from a global variable, and I'll make sure to store that kind of off camera so that y'all don't see my API key. And then I've already got the table name and things like that. So I already have a base ID. I can grab that out of my Python code. I've already got a table. I think it's literally called, it's giveaways all lowercase. So that's exactly as is. And then it's got a URL here that it's going to build. It's going to do some string interpolation where it's putting the base ID and the table name and everything right into that. And then it looks like it's setting up the authorization. And that authorization here is basically just sending over my authentication or my API key as what we call a bearer token. And then it's getting some kind of response back. Now that response has to go into some kind of data structure, and it's calling it an HTTP response message. And then it looks like it's going to read that in as a string, as a response body, and then it's going to try to deserialize that and then put that into what we have down here is this Airtable response. So then we'll be able to get a list of records out of that. So we'll have what we call getters and setters, where we can then get records out of the response that comes back. And then hopefully that's going to be what we need. So Airtable response.records. And that's going to be a list of this record object, which we had down here. And this record object is basically every record you get back from Airtable is going to have a unique ID. And then there's going to be a dictionary of strings and objects, which are our values of actually the key value store. And so all the different fields in here would be all the fields that we have in our giveaway table, which is basically the Twitch username. In this case, it'll be a YouTube username, the date that I'm streaming, so that you're all watching right now. So we're all in here for April 18th. We've got the name of the person who typed in the command, whether or not they were chosen as the recipient. And then I write in what the prize is. Right now, I'm not putting the addresses and stuff in this table. But if I was tracking all of this stuff in the table, then you would see all that stuff in here. But we're not putting that kind of stuff in the in this table. So really, the only things I really care about are these fields here. This field over here is just a unique identifier, which is a concatenation of both the date and the user ID. In this case, these are the Twitch user IDs corresponding to your username. And the reason I do that is if, let's say Mark H, if Mark H decides he's going to change his username to something else, like just, let's say Mark H drops the NNC and he just goes by Mark H, this user ID doesn't change. And so when I go through and I count how many entries do you have, I'm counting how many entries match this user ID, not the username. So this way I can go through and I can count based on your user ID how many entries you have. Now, if you enter on Twitch and on YouTube, you're going to have two different user IDs, and that's going to make it harder for me to reconcile giveaway recipients. The danger there is you could go onto both Twitch and YouTube and enter at the same time, and now you've got twice as many entries. That's not much different from people making alt accounts, though, and like logging in with alternate accounts and trying to enter giveaways and things like that, which kind of happens anyway. But I will need some way of reconciling who these people are at some point and who I'm sending things to and stuff like that. But that's a me problem, not a you problem. rename your account to something _else. Yeah, my YouTube handle is the same as here and Kick. Right, but not everybody does that. But even still, we would see the username in here, but the user ID, like your Google user ID, is a much bigger set of characters than the Twitch ID, which is just an incrementing integer value. So that'll come in from YouTube a little bit differently as well. And we're going to have to try to figure out, like, how do we get your YouTube account sort of details so that we can figure out who you are. So this is all part of what we're going to try to figure out tonight. We may not get the whole thing finished tonight. I don't want to stream for like hours and hours and hours. But we'll see. We'll kind of see how this goes. So ChatGPT gave us an idea of like we're going to need these kinds of records here. I'm going to copy these in as is into my code. So let's go back over to our code over here. And I believe we can have classes within classes. So I'm going to define these inside this public class here for my inline work. So we're going to have our Airtable response. Each of that's going to be a list of these record objects, and these record objects are just going to be something with an ID and then a dictionary of all those fields. All right, so then the main code's going to go here, and we need to return a true value just so that StreamerBot knows that everything that we intended to do has been finished. So now we need to kind of go back and forth between StreamerBot and the code here to try to see like what exactly do we need to set up. So we started out with these things here. We have an API key, which I'm going to get as a variable. We have a base ID, which is the sort of the database ID, and that's going to be generally like an encoded kind of string. The table name is going to just be a string like this. All right, so let's go start planning these out. So let's see, that's going to happen here in this code. So I'm going to have a string for my API key. And this one I have to be able to get from my global variables. So I forget what CPH actually stands for, but this is the library that StreamerBot uses to actually go do these things. And I'm going to have to go look up the documentation for StreamerBot. So StreamerBot get global variable. So it's going to be cph.getGlobalVariable. And then we give it the name of the variable, and then whether or not we want to persist it, I guess, when we set that value later on. So I'm probably going to have to set something, and then maybe I can go in and alter it. I need to figure out how to even set a global variable manually so that y'all don't see me write that into a block of code and have to take it back out. But this is basically what we need to call. So cph.getGlobalVariable, and then I give it the name, and it's going to return back this t object, which I think just tells us whether or not that worked. Now, there are some built-in things here that we can call for, like go get a Twitch user by their username, and it'll go fetch that, like those details about your Twitch account or about your YouTube account. These are the only platforms that StreamerBot will connect to. They will add more, once people have been bugging them already, like, can you add Kick? And they're like, well, you don't have an API, so no, we can't add Kick yet. But for now, I just need this get global variable and see if we can get that value. So this is going to be get a global variable, and we're just going to call this Airtable API key or something like that. Now that's going to start out empty because it's not going to be there, which is totally all right. I'm okay with that being empty for the time being. And then we'll figure out like how to actually store that here in StreamerBot in some way, because there's got to be a way for me to access those and be able to set a value. Learner says you could get an environment variable in there and set that instead of hard coding. I don't know how to tell StreamerBot to go get Windows environment settings. And then I would also have to try to figure out how do I store that in a Windows environment. I would rather just put that in StreamerBot. So when I export this stuff from my backups and I import it later, like if my system crashes, I can just re-import all my StreamerBot and everything's in here. So I would rather store that as a global variable inside StreamerBot as opposed to storing it in Windows or something like that and try to figure out like how to maintain that. Also, if I set it at an environment level within Windows, every Windows application I have has access to that value. Where putting it in StreamerBot, only StreamerBot has access to it because it's going to have its own memory kind of isolated from everything else. So I would rather keep that in StreamerBot for now. Okay, so then the next thing that we needed to do, we needed a string, and this was going to be our like database ID value. And this I'm just going to hard code as a string right in here because there's no danger to all of you knowing that ID value because you can't do anything with it anyway. You would need my API key to do anything with it. And then we have a string of, we'll call this like giveaway table, and that's just called giveaway. I think in C# these have to be double quotes. I do appreciate programming languages that treat single quotes and double quotes differently. Where single quotes, anything in there is handled kind of as is, where anything in a double quote is kind of interpreted for string interpolation, things like that. We need one more string in here, which was going to be our Airtable base URL. And that was a string interpolated string. And so we start that with a $sign in C#, as I recall. And then we need to go get the actual URL to go talk to that table. So let me go pull up my Python code here real quick, and we'll go see what we need to do there. Go to prodbot, giveaway. I realize I'm scrolling through code and y'all can't even see what I'm looking through in my own code. So this is my chatbot that I currently have written. I basically want to go through and I want to try to find all of my giveaway code. Here it is down here. All right, so here's my giveaway code. So here's my Airtable like database ID. So again, I'm not too concerned about you all seeing this because it's the API key that I don't want you to see, but knowing this ID value doesn't hurt anything because none of you can get at it anyway. So I'm going to go put that in StreamerBot. That's my database ID. And then we need this whole URL here of how do we construct all of that. All right, so let me go back over to StreamerBot. So it's just going to string interpolate these and kind of put that whole string together. So we're going to go to api.airtable.com v0, and then it's going to copy in the database ID that I just pasted in here, as well as my table name, which is just giveaway. Is it giveaway or giveaways plural? It might be plural, actually. Where's that window? I think it's giveaways plural. Yeah, it's plural. All right, so giveaways plural. All right, so then the next thing it was doing is it's actually going and fetching that URL. Now in the ChatGPT code, it's actually doing an asynchronous call to actually go fetch that. And the reason that code generally does things asynchronously is basically it puts things on what we call an event loop that basically says, I want to go do this in the background, and then while I'm waiting for that to come back, I'm going to go do these other things. And when that other thing finishes, it sort of like sends an alert saying, hey, I'm back with that data that you wanted, or I'm back, processing that thing that you wanted me to do. When we do an await, that's basically saying, no, I really want to stop and wait for you to finish this. And then we'll kind of carry on from there. So a good example of where you might call like an asynchronous call, but not wait for it would be something like, I want to go upload this image, and it might take a little while to actually upload and save and whatever and get some kind of response back. I don't necessarily want to wait for that. I want to be able to tell my user like, hey, we got your image. We're going to process it in the background. Thanks. Everything's good. And then kind of chew on that in the background. But in this case, this is actually saying, no, we can't actually do any of these other instructions until we get something back from Airtable saying that we're actually able to connect and do something. So what this URL here is doing is, this base URL, this is basically just saying like what's in that whole table. So we're going to have to try to figure out from the Airtable API, how do we tell it to do a search operation so that we can say, hey, based on this user that made this command, how can we get their user ID from YouTube and then figure out from Airtable then, has that YouTube user already entered the giveaway for today or not? So that's where we're going to kind of take it from here. So there's going to be a little bit more to do inside the StreamerBot window here as far as like what this URL is, but this is kind of like the base of all of the URLs. So whatever we do with Airtable, we're going to kind of keep continuing to build on top of this URL. So we're going to string interpolate this URL into other URLs kind of as we go. Xdrip, good to see you. Quick question, why the different case types in StreamerBot code? That's a good question. I'm used to writing Python, so I'm used to using snake case, which has the underscores. I see a lot of C# code doing kind of this camel case where maybe it starts with a lowercase letters, maybe it starts with an uppercase. But they call it camel case because the uppercase letters are like the capitalization of the letters kind of goes up and down like camel humps. So I could call this like API key and do something like that just to kind of keep that similar. I'm not too picky about it, honestly. Either way, I'm the one reading and maintaining the code, so I'm not too concerned about it. But there will be people out there who are very particular about like, oh, it should all start with lowercase letters. I like capitalizing the technologies, at least because I'm going to talk to Airtable. So I want to put a capital A on there, but yeah. But good question. By all means, feel free to ask questions as we go. And if other people on the stream have used C# or have used Airtable in C# or have used StreamerBot, absolutely, by all means, help me out. Otherwise, I'm kind of learning in public. I'm learning as I go here. Python has a really great library for this. I didn't even bother to check to see if C# has a library. I can add other references. So if there is like an Airtable library out there that I could use, that would certainly be a lot more convenient. But for now, I'm going to try not to do that. So if I do a compile so far, I already get some errors. Typer namespace of net does not exist. in system. Am I missing an assembly reference? It's possible. So it looks like I'm going to need some other references in here anyway. So we'll come back and we'll figure that out here in a moment. Let me move this out of the way for a sec. Okay, so I can't even go look at my other Airtable code until I finish this code. So we'll figure out some of this stuff. So it's looking for base ID, which I called database ID. And table name we called giveaway table. So that'll get rid of some of those errors. Inline invoke proxy get global variable cannot be inferred from the usage. Try specifying the type arguments explicitly. Okay, we'll figure that out kind of as we go. In C#, Pascal case is for public things. Okay, cool, good to know. Thanks, learner. Yeah, I forgot Pascal case was even a name. Pascal was one of the first programming languages I learned in college. In my first year of computer engineering, we learned Pascal. I started out in electrical engineering, and some of what we were learning was just low-level C programming. And when I switched my major from electrical engineering to computer engineering, they're like, okay, well, it's cool that you learned some C. The first programming language we teach you is Pascal, and you won't get into C until like the second term. So I just kept writing C at home just to keep that skill up. So once I started that class, I was getting like straight A's and tutoring other students on how to write C. But Pascal was an interesting language as far as how it does its assignments and things like that. Yeah, I forgot about Pascal case. Interesting. Good times. All right, so we need to go figure out how to get this .NET HTTP stuff, like the actual DLL for that. So I'm going to close this down for now. If I go back over to one of these other ones, actually calls some API code. I'm trying to remember which one actually does that. Does it blink the lights? No. Trying to remember which one I actually had that in. These are just the audio prompts. Changing scenes, it's not any of those. Is it the clip one? No, that's just pausing other cues while I do a clip. No, it's not those ones. Oh, you know what? I do want to test this shoutout command. I was trying to do some stuff in OBS with shoutouts and showing that, so maybe we'll do this in a moment. Trying to think what that other code was, because I had some other code that was actually doing some kind of HTTP REST call. I don't remember which one it was now. No, I don't remember now. Let's go test out the shoutout thing. So commands. I thought I had a shoutout command, don't I? Oh, I think I've got it as a platform thing that when it sees that I do a shoutout, that it calls that stuff. What would that be under? I'd run shoutout received, but when I do a shoutout, no. Oh, yeah. When I create a shoutout, it's going to call that shoutout command for somebody else. So let's see whether that works. So if I do a shoutout to Westery1, what actually happens? Oops, this embed is misconfigured. Developers, please check your browser console for more information. Ah, it almost worked. All right, well, I gave a shout out to Westry anyway. So it did some of what I wanted it to do. So I was trying to get it to like come up with their profile picture and things like that. And apparently something in there broke. So I'll have to go figure that out later. Yeah, we'll go figure that out. No big deal. Let's see. All right, so we need to go back to actions and go back to here. I need to find out what those other things are. Bear with me while I go through some of this other code and try to find that. System. So the reference is going to be something like this, where it's like system.net/net/something .dll. So I just need to go find where I'm doing other code and pulling that stuff in. I just don't remember where I actually have other code. Because I had it in here at one point. I know that I had other C# code that was doing RESTful APIs. I just don't remember what I called the commands. These are just voice commands. So yeah, it's not any of those. Where did I have that code? Those are just visibilities. That's just looping through. So when you do like a fail or whatever, it's like just pulling up like a random video or random audio. So it's not any of those because those are all going to be the same. That's the shutout code that we just looked at. I forget what it was I was trying to do with something about their Twitch user account. I was trying to fetch like the last clip or something about their user ID, and if it couldn't find that, I was just doing like Ralph from The Simpsons, like waving or something like that and showing that for 10 seconds, then hiding it again. So some of it worked. We just need to figure out how to get some of that other stuff going. Epic cat fail. No, that wasn't code. Where did I have other code? And I don't remember where I was doing that. All right, I might have to come back to this and do it another time. Let's go fix the shout out thing. I think that'll be more fun to do right now. All right. So meanwhile, if you're on YouTube or if you're on Kick and you want to get in the giveaway, you will need to come over to Twitch for that. But by all means, if you're hanging out, do ! giveaway. Let's see, I've been streaming for an hour. I'll do like another 15, 20 minutes and then we'll draw. But I'm going to keep working on this stuff for a little bit. So let's go through what each of these are doing. So the first thing, it's basically saying when I give a shout out to somebody, it's going to go grab all of the Twitch data about that user. So I'm putting in a username and it's going to go fetch all of that. It sets them in a global ID so that it can execute some code to go do some other stuff using their ID. We get the URL. We basically build a URL out of that so that the shoutout command can say like go follow, Westry or whatever. Give them a follow. So it did successfully go pull like the last thing that they did. Check out their last stream about new studio, Captain America shield, Mia stream, bacon strips. Then we are executing some code. This is where I was basically trying to say like go see if they have any clips and then go pull in like the last clip that somebody made about them so that we can show that in that little window. And this is supposed to come back with a URL of the last clip. Now it could be that Westry doesn't have any clips. So that's a very real possibility. Hey, 86 Carrera, good to see you. Westry, do you have any, like, has anybody ever made a clip on your channel? Do you happen to know if anybody's made a clip? I think you can go into your, it might be under the creator dashboard, but there's a way that you can go in and you can see all the clips that other people have made about your channel. I'm curious if you happen to know whether you have any. Okay, so you do have a few. Okay, so this code here might be what broke, because this is where I'm trying to go get the URL for the last shout out that you got. So we're grabbing the shout out user ID, which is what I'm trying to store up here. So what this code is doing is it's saying, okay, if I give a shout out to Westery, it's going to go look up Westery's information, and then it's going to store Westery's Twitch ID in this shout out user ID. And then it's grabbing the URL for their profile image. And we're saving those in these global variables called shoutout user ID and shoutout user URL. And that's a URL to their profile picture. And then the code in here is basically saying, go get that global variable for shoutout user ID. So just their Twitch user ID. And this call is supposed to say, go get one clip from that user. And if that count comes back as greater than 0, then we're supposed to be storing that in another global variable. So it's going to go grab the URL of that clip and store that in this thing called shoutout user URL. So it should be overwriting that URL for whoever I'm giving that shout out to. But when we tried to do this for a shout out for Westery, it came up with an error and it said like check the console and like see what happens. So I'm gonna have to, like, this code compiles okay, but it didn't seem to actually run okay. I need to go figure out how to actually get into the console here, because somewhere in here it's gonna have some way of me looking up like what actually happened. I just don't know where to find that in StreamerBot, but there should be a place in here to go look up log data. Like we have the commands. No, it wouldn't. Is it action Q? No, actions. So we did a shout out and it's going to be down here. But how do I actually get into the console log folder? All right, so we've got log data at least that we can go take a look at and see like what happened with Westery. And did we actually fetch what it was that we were looking for? Let me go see if I can find anything in here about Westery. No results, so it didn't load anything there. I'm just going to scan through the log real quick and see if we've got anything here. It's cool getting a peek behind the scenes. Yeah, it's fun. I'm really enjoying StreamerBot. It's got a lot of power as far as like the kinds of things that it can connect to and do, and people can share C# code to do different kinds of commands. So I eventually want to move all of my giveaway bot stuff into StreamerBot, so then I can share that code with other people. Because right now I can't really give everybody my existing chatbot code because I got a lot of custom stuff that I've written that's very specific to me and my stream and my API keys and things like that. So I don't want to just give that out to everybody, but I would love to be able to build like just the giveaway stuff and be able to share that out with people. Because in StreamerBot, you can just hit that export button up here at the top and it'll export like whatever thing you're currently looking at, and it'll export that just as an encoded piece of text. And if you import that into your structure, now you can run exactly that same code. So that's ultimately what I want to do with this. But I need to figure out like how do I get into the debug console to actually see what happened. There's C# compiler. No, it's not in there. It's not any of those. Voice control, but that's just when I say the word Discord, it should put our Discord URL in chat whenever I say Discord. But that's only if it actually, there it goes. So if I say it clearly enough and I say, come join us on our Discord community, it should pop up over here in chat. There it goes. Good bot. All right. And then integrations, Streamlabs, StreamElements, and so on. These are just other plugins that you can tell it to connect to, but it's not one of those. Stream apps, it's connecting to my OBS. Because when OBS tried to pop up the little shout out window, it gave an error and all it said was like, go check the console. But I'm not sure, like it said, check your browser's console. But we're not actually pulling this up in a browser. We're pulling it up inside of OBS. And so there's no real console to go look at. So I'm kind of hoping there's something inside of StreamerBot that can tell us like what happened. Like why didn't that work the way that we thought? So I might need to actually write some stuff to a log or something like that to kind of trace what happened and when. Because yeah, I don't think any of these are actually working right now. But platforms, this is where I can kind of connect to my my YouTube account, and then we can watch incoming chat messages. And this is where we can say like if they, you know, do this kind of command, then go run this piece of code. So that's eventually what we want to get into. I don't think we're going to be able to hook that up tonight, but we'll see. I got to go find like a bunch of other libraries and stuff to pull in. I want to see if there's a C# library for Airtable instead of like manually writing those URLs. I think that'll make that a little bit easier for us. So in my code, if we go back over to actions, we've got our shoutout command. It would be nice if there was a way to say like, show me the console log of the last time this tried to run or something like that. That would be very helpful. The best I can probably do here is like write that information to a log file. So let's go see if we can find out from the documentation how to go write something into a log file. So let's go back over to StreamerBot over here, and we'll go look at how to write data to the log. No, log. Event log. Log all arguments, change logs. I just want to be able to write something into a log. So maybe debug. Yeah, get in on that giveaway. We'll draw for that giveaway at the half-hour mark. So 15 minutes, we'll do that drawing, and you do need to be here. So just like last stream, I'm gonna redraw a maximum of 2 times for a winner or for a recipient of our giveaway. And if you're not here, then you miss out. And if all 3 people I draw are not here, then we will reserve that gift for another day. Let's see, we got general stuff here. Oh, good. That's a great way to write your documentation. All right, code. Let's see, execute code, methods, variable types. I do want to execute code, but I want to be able to debug that code. Save and compile. Those are just the buttons. Oh, well, that's a compiler log. But I actually want to log things while it's running so I can actually see what's happening. So how do I actually log this stuff? There's got to be an API call in here to actually log things. All right. We got general, commands, globals, service clients, user groups. I would think it would be under general. Maybe under commands, but I would expect this would be kind of a general thing. Source event types, actions, queues, sound, and so on. Logging, here we go. All right, so we can just log a string. So log verbose. Okay. So let's go add that into our code. We'll see what we can do here. So let me pull up that other window. All right. So I want to go. I'm going to call cph dot log verbose. And here we're going to do a string interpolation where we say shoutout user ID is, and then whatever that variable is, and that was just user ID. We will save, compile. Yeah, compile's okay, so we'll say okay there. So now if I do this again and I pull up the log, we should be able to see what actually happens in here. So give another shout out to anybody else here in chat. Is anybody else here a streamer? Or I'll just do Westry again because I know Westry has clips. So if anybody's in chat and you're a streamer and you have clips on your channel, let me know. I don't think I can shut up myself. I'll just do Westry again for now. So this embed is misconfigured. Check your browser console for more information. Okay, so I might need to go see what's actually happening there, but let's go check the log file and see if anything ended up in the log. Okay, so performing non-blocking shoutout initiated by me. Performed a non-blocking shoutout initiated. Yep, code has been flagged as dirty. Okay, that's fine. But where was it supposed to log that information? So I don't see anything in the log that indicates like what I told it to log. Let me show you what I see. So here's the log of like the last couple of instructions that ran. So we're in here and it says, okay, I queued up the shadow command. It put it in the default queue. It was initiated by me. And then it's going through the action queue for default and it says, okay, is there anything in the queue? Let's go run it. So now it's going to go call the shoutout command initiated by me. Code has been flagged as dirty for destroying the instance. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand the concept of what that means, but I'm not sure why it thinks my code is dirty. And then it unloads that after the fact. So it looks like it's kind of pulling it in and then like dumping it again, creating and compiling an instance for nothing, and then running a default entry point from that instance. So it didn't actually write to the log file what we told it that we wanted to log in our code. Yeah, Westry made my code dirty. Westry is just a bad influence on my code. That's all it is. So if we come back over here, we go back over to this. So we were trying to log in a verbose way. We should have seen this show up in the log file, and this didn't show up. So I'm going to log before we even get there. Maybe we're not even getting into that code. So let's do a cph log verbose. And we're just going to write a string in here that says we're starting the shoutout code just to see that we're even getting in here. So the compile's okay, so we'll go ahead and save that. You need a broom and a good ranch hand. Yeah. All right, so let's go. So it's been more than 2 minutes, so I should be able to do another shout out. If there are any other streamers that want a free shout out that have a clip, let me know. I'll do a shout out to Jen Junode. I was on Jen's stream earlier today. So that still came up with the same thing. Go check out. Yep, so that all came through okay. But it didn't actually pull up a clip. And at a minimum, it should have been Ralph Wiggins from Simpsons, like waving hello. So if we go back and we look at the log file, let's go see if anything new showed up here. So it added a whole bunch of new stuff in here. So this was the last line that it ran before, and then this was everything else that we did. So first words, credits, getting the viewers. Oh, this is basically like, every periodic amount of time, it's trying to give everybody points for just watching the chat, but I don't have any of that stuff hooked up. Okay, so here's our shoutout command again. Code has been flagged as dirty, unloading, creating, compiling. So it's not actually logging anything at all. So it's not even trying to run that code. That's kind of what that tells me, is it's not doing that code at all. So why is that? Why is it not doing anything at all? I wonder. If I come in here, sorry, OBS goofed up on me here. If I come in here, come on, there we go. If I comment out all of this other stuff, and all we do is that log command, would that be enough? So all I want this to do is just save something in the log saying, hello world, we got here. So we compile that, save it and compile it, and then we go try and do another shout out. RC, what's going on? Let's give a shout out to RC Maniac 25. Okay, so we still get that same error, but go give RC a follow anyway. And if I come back over to the log file, it's still coming up saying that oh no, it changed at that time. When I ran at that time, it didn't say anything about being dirty, but it also did not print to the log the line that we said, that we got into this part of the code where it says like starting the shoutout code. So it's not logging it into that log file. So I'm not sure where else it's supposed to be maybe logging things, because there's only one logs folder for StreamerBot. My expectation is it would have just ended up in the log with everything else that we have. Because we see different log levels of things like information and debugging and things like that, but it doesn't seem to be logging what I'm telling it to log. So I'm just trying to do a log verbose. Maybe I don't want to do the log verbose. I think instead of that, so there were a couple of other log things that we could do. There was a log info and log debug. So maybe we'll do it as a log debug and see whether that works. So if we do a compile is okay. So I'm going to save and compile. That worked out all right. What's the challenge? So do log info. Isn't that what I just did? No, I did debug, didn't I? Okay, so log info. So I'm trying to fix a shoutout command. So initially we were going to spend some time and try to get the YouTube chat to allow people on YouTube to enter the giveaway, but it's going to be a little more involved than for the length of time that I want to stream tonight. So that's not going to work. But we got 4 minutes until I draw for the giveaway. So if you're watching on Kick, because we got some eyeballs on Kick, we got some eyeballs over on YouTube. I lied. Nobody's watching on YouTube anymore. But if you're on Kick and you want to come enter the giveaway, you got to come over to Twitch to enter the giveaway. But do the exclamation point giveaway over here on Twitch. And that'll get you in the giveaway. And I still didn't see any ideas from anybody on what we're giving away tonight. So I've got dragons, I got etchings, I've got this cool little welcome sign that I can send. Or I've got this cool little welcome sign, like just that without the extra backing on it. Or I can just give you the link to my catalog and you can go pick something that you want me to laser etch. If you're coming to the Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival, you can pick it up from me there instead of me shipping it. That would be convenient. But yeah, you get 3 minutes to enter that giveaway. Then we're going to draw. You do need to be present. If I draw your name, you do need to be here and let me know that you're here. All right, so log info on that. So compile, save and compile. Okay, so let's go do another shout out then, and let's see whether that actually logs for us. So we're gonna give a shout out to, hey Panka, good to see you. Let's do a shout out to Eagle Brit. All right, so we still get the same, like this embed is misconfigured or whatever. And I think that's just because it's not actually getting the URL that it needs to like process anything further. But it should be, So the way that I've got the code set right now, it's supposed to set the shoutout user URL to be their profile image URL. So whatever profile picture you have on Twitch, it's supposed to grab that picture. And then this should be grabbing the Simpsons character thing here. Let me pull this up in a browser so you can see what it's supposed to show. Unless this got blocked, which is entirely possible as well. Which screen am I showing? Documentation screen. So it should be Ralph Wiggins just waving at us, saying hello. But that didn't seem to work. So then the next thing, so executing that code would have overwritten that user URL with that instead. And it would have overwritten it with Ralph. So I think I want to move that code up. And if I'm doing shoutout user URL, then I don't need to do this line because it's just going to set it to Ralph Wiggins waving hello. This execute code was basically if there is a clip of something from your stream, I would show the first 10 seconds of that clip instead. And then set that in OBS to actually show that as a media file. The Twitch message is working, the time is working, then it's hiding that, image that we were seeing like pop up here, that big square. So some of it's working, but it seems that whatever that URL is not working. I'm wondering if I store that global variable here. Oh, this is basically saying if it's not already set to something, set it to Ralph waving. Maybe we'll try that. All right, so we've got all this saved. Let's just see if we can get Ralph to show up. I'm just trying to test code. No need to worry if you stream or not. Yeah. So no, it won't make a difference. I mean, eventually I'll go back and I'll do another shout out to Westery to see if we can get it to pull up a clip instead of Ralph. But I mean, at a minimum, I want to get Ralph like waving at us and saying hi. So we'll do another shout out to, who else is here? Who else is hanging out on chat? Panka J. So Panka J 875. Spell your name properly. All right, so we'll do a shout out there. But again, we don't see Ralph Wiggins. We're just seeing this embed is misconfigured. So I might need to go check something in OBS to make sure that that's also set up properly. Let me go into studio mode real quick and go see if I can figure out what's going on there. That one's going to be in my alerts. And that one is... Oh, what is that one called? Oh, it's green screen overlays, not the alerts. Okay, so green screen. And then from green screen, I'm trying to find the shout out image URL. Okay. So over here then, if I go look at the properties of that, oh, it actually got stored. It actually found a clip and stored that in there. Curiouser. Let's go see what that clip has for us. The embed is misconfigured. So it is kind of working. What we were trying to fetch as the actual clip was actually failing. And so this was actually coming up properly because whatever we were getting as that clip URL is not valid. So we are getting a clip, but when we actually try to call that clip, it comes up and says, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Hedonistic plump vampire Leroy Jenkins. That's a very interesting clip name. So I'm kind of curious, like what this was actually supposed to be. All right. So we are, it's getting a clip. It's just not able to process that as a media file. And so when we're trying to pull it up in OBS, OBS is like, huh? Because the URL that we're getting is that Twitch clip URL. Doesn't seem to be an actual like media file that we can tell OBS to load. So I might need to double check that. So what I'm going to try setting OBS to that Ralph Wiggins image. Let me do that over here real quick. Studio mode, green screen. I'm going to go set that to Ralph Wiggins. And then come back over here. Come back over to here. Come over to here. Who else is hanging out in chat that I can give a shout out to? Oh, we're like way over time to draw for our giveaway. All right. Who else? Already got a lot of these folks. Who else is hanging out in chat? Bets is hanging out. All right, we'll go give a shout out to Bets. All right, shout out to Bets.
Hello there.
Hello there. Bets. Weaverbird. So it's still giving us that image. It should have been Ralph Wiggins. So there's still something else a little odd and off that's not showing up the way that I thought. If I go back to my green screen and I look at what it's supposed to be loading, it actually loads a clip in there. So something is still sending that clip URL over to my OBS from these commands. So this is basic. Okay. So whoever I'm giving a shout out to, whatever that user profile image is, I think I need to go like pull that out as a global variable and try to log that somehow. All right. Last thing I'm going to go check before we draw our name. So bear with me. Let's go back over. We're in here. I want to go over to here and go over to here. So these are all the new log entries since we last set all that up. So here's our shout out. So it got rid of that whole like this code is dirty kind of thing. Here's 86 Carrera doing our hello command. So it did the shout out code, but we still don't see. Oh, here's our log. All right, so we're able to log that now. So something was just not working correctly. So Mighty Bean just got in. I wish I knew 1/10,000th of what you know and do. I mean, I've been doing this for a minute. So Mighty Bean's been doing this, I think, a little bit longer than me. So if you really want to get in on some really cool nerdy stuff, go hang out with Mighty Bean. All right, we're gonna do our drawing. Only a minute. All right, we're 6.5 minutes overdue to do our drawing for the night. So we will do giveaway. So this will tell us how many giveaway entries that we've got. Oops, bang, giveaway, not slash giveaway. This will tell us how many entries we've got for the day, how many monthly entries we've got. So we got 14 people in the giveaway for today. That's fantastic. And we got 79 total entries for our cool 3D printed dragon. That's that big model that you see up over my left shoulder here. Here's the head of it. I did get the head painted and the teeth and stuff. So I got the roof of the mouth and the bottom of the mouth, and the tongue is a little bit different shade of blue. Got the teeth all painted up. It looks pretty nice. I did post some pictures up on Instagram. You can go check that out on the socials. So by entering the giveaway today, you've got another entry to win this 3D printed dragon. In the meantime, we still need to figure out what we're giving away tonight. Ego Brett has an ad. I don't have ads on my platform. Why are you seeing an ad? Is anybody else seeing an ad? I don't do ads. I mean, you have a pre-roll ad, but you shouldn't be seeing any other ads. What just happened? I totally missed what happened. Westry gifted a sub to Eagle Brett. Thank you, Westry. That was very nice. There was no music. That was weird. It should have played the Epic Sax guy. Little jam. Not sure what happened there. Okay. Plenty of stuff to fix. Let me close studio mode in OBS so I can actually see these things that happen. Okay, so we got a little bit of code to fix. We'll get there. Let's go do our giveaway then. Since everybody's in the giveaway, Westry, thank you for that. I'm confused about the ads though. Yeah, I was bopping my head because I was listening to the Epic Sax guy, but apparently you all don't hear that. So, like I said, I've got other things to fix because that audio should have been playing for everybody. I'll figure that out later. All right, so let's go do the giveaway. It's a giveaway daily. Here we go. You have to be in chat in order to get your prize. It was a pre-roll ad? Okay. All right. RJMJR, I've drawn your name in the past and you weren't here. I hope you're here this time. Hey, that's you. Hey, you're here. Congratulations. Congratulations very much. Cool. So we need to figure out what you're getting as a giveaway. So everybody in chat, help me figure out what should we give RJ? RJMJR 223456 LMNOP. What should we give RJ as our giveaway tonight? We have a 3D printed dragon. We've got these cool laser etched signs. This one's got kind of a cool like shiny paint to it, kind of a metallic paint. I've got one that's in more of a flat kind of paint that's not shiny, but it's just this part. It doesn't have all the background that this other one has. I could just laser etch something custom. I could be convinced to do like a slate coaster with like your username on it or something like that. A hearty congratulations. Nah, I do better than that on my stream. I could give away half a bag of cracked pepper sunflower seeds. No, just kidding. I'm not going to give that away. That's my precious. Surprise you. Okay. I will surprise RJ. Go ahead and send me a Twitch whisper with your name and your mailing address. And I will send you something. Surprise nothing. No, I'm not going to send you a surprise of nothing. Wait, what, sunflower seeds? Yeah, so Wester, you know me in sunflower seeds. I love my sunflower seeds, so I've been going hard on these cracked pepper sunflower seeds from Spitz. They are not a sponsor, but you know, like other people who consume the same things over and over on their stream, I wish they would sponsor me. I'm also a big fan of Circle K. If you have Circle K gas stations, they've come out with their own salt and pepper sunflower seeds, which are also super tasty, but there's always like a pound of salt and pepper dust in the bottom of the bag. So you never want to like tip the bag to like get the last couple of kernels. Otherwise you get like a mouthful of salt and pepper. I haven't tried the dill pickle ones, and I'm not a big fan of ranch. But I do like just regular salted ones, but after a while the salt gets to be a bit too much, so I kind of switched over to the cracked pepper ones, because then you don't end up with that like weird salt thing like completely destroying your taste buds. Cool. So RJ, we will send you a surprise. We will absolutely do that. So again, send me your name and your mailing address, and I will get something in the mail to you, and we will surprise you. I'll send you some tracking info once I have it. And I will figure out something very interesting to send you. Oh, I know what I'm going to send you. I talked about this last Thursday on stream, but the commission that I'm doing, I picked up some rocks that I'm going to airbrush gold for the terrain. I'm just going to send you the other 1.5 pounds of rocks. Is that cool? I'm just going to send you 1.5 pounds of just gritty sandstone. That'll be your giveaway. Not so much a surprise anymore. No, I will do better than that. Yeah, I'll think of something really interesting. You know what? I'm actually gonna get into laser etching some keychains. So maybe I'll do a keychain with your username on it, RJ. Or if you want like your initials or something like that. Tell me in your Twitch whisper what you'd like to have engraved on either a round keychain or a rectangular keychain. I'll show you what those are gonna look like. I'll send you one of these. We'll go back over to the browser, and in that browser, we're going to go over to my photos over here. So these are what the keychain blanks look like. So let me know whether you want the rectangular keychain or if you want a round keychain and what you would like engraved on there. And I'll laser engrave you a keychain. You'll be my first keychain recipient. So let me know what you would like on there. They're not huge. This one's only about 1.5 inches long. This is like maybe 1 inch in diameter. But let me know what you would like to have on a keychain, and I'll laser etch you. A custom keychain. Bet says, if I win, can I have a 3D printed lightsaber? I mean, I might do a lightsaber at some point in this monthly giveaway. You're gonna have to keep coming back and entering those giveaways and see what we do. So we're gonna do another month-long giveaway thing in July. We're gonna do another one in October. And the whole idea of these like big giveaways is to kind of put a little bit of spotlight on the fundraiser that we're doing. So we are still raising money for Unloop. We're up to about $305. I need to add, I'm going to go do that right now because I keep saying that I'm going to do it and I keep forgetting to do it. So I'm going to go do that right now. So Twitch, I'm going to go to my own Twitch channel. How do I... There's the donate to charity. And so I'm going to go in and enter my custom amount. So we had, so when I gave away the Kraken treasure chest, one of the things that I said is like everybody, got a $10 gift card. One person said, put my $10 gift card in Unloop. And then we gave away the 2 Raspberry Pis on Pi Day. And both of those people came back and said, put the cash equivalent value into Unloop as well. So one of those was a Pico W, and I'm just going to round that up to $10. The other one was a Pi Zero 2, which you just can't buy because they're just not making them. I'm going to call that one $20. And so $10, $10, and $20, that's $40. So I'm going to go enter that right now. And that will be other people's contributions that went into Unloop. So I'm going to go do that donation right now. Yep, I'll put my own name in here. Make sure it's not going to show my PayPal info here. That sounds like Whip hanging out in chat. Hey, Whip, good to see you. I'm doing this till the end of the month. That's right, yeah. So we're raising money for Unloop until the end of April, and then we're going to roll over to STEM to the Future. And we're going to do that kind of going forward. So STEM to the Future, we're going to try and raise money for them, but a maximum of 4 months. So either we hit the community goal or 4 months, whichever comes first. And then we're going to go to the next one. And I don't have the next one picked. I'm going to pick that once we roll over to STEM to the Future. All right, so let's get that $40 in there. So that's done. So we should see that pop up here on the screen maybe. I don't know if we'll actually see that other than we got Streamception going here. All right, so we got the activity feed thing coming in. We got all kinds of wildness going on here. Let me go back to here just to get rid of Streamception. All right, so if you go check out Unloop, we're now at $345. And again, I match all of that money. So the more we can raise on that, the better. If we can get to $1,000, then we'll immediately roll over to STEM to the Future. If you can't donate, that's totally okay. But the donations now from you going via Twitch is now you getting the tax credit for those donations. Where last year when you were donating, you were just sending me the money and I was donating that and then just being super transparent about, no, really, I'm donating that money. So, I'm not just keeping it. Yeah. Oh, we already drew the recipient for the day. So let me go mark that. So that was RJ, and we're going to do a keychain. So I'm going to do an etched keychain on that one. Etched. There we go. Thank you for the follow. We just had a follow come in from Amal. So thank you for the follow. Thanks for dropping in. So yeah, I'm Ian. I love doing some coding and stuff like that. We're nerding out on a little bit of trying to get some chatbot stuff going here. We're trying to fix some chatbot stuff so that when we give shout outs, we can actually see like a clip or something about the user's profile image, or like Ralph Wiggins from Simpsons just waving at us. We got some stuff broken in there, but we'll get all that sorted out. We tried asking ChatGPT to generate some code to like go read and write some stuff from Airtable, but I realized that's actually going to be more involved than what I want to do on a stream. We've been going for almost 2 hours. So I'm gonna keep streaming for a little bit because I do want to work on the shout out command a little bit. But we've done our giveaway for the day, but you can still do exclamation point giveaway, and that's going to get you an entry into the monthly giveaway for the bigger 3D printed dragon that we're going to give away. So the body of it's back here. Here's the head. Let me go put them together and show you the size of the thing. And I did post new pictures of this on Instagram, so go check out the socials. So here's what the whole thing's going to look like. And it is kind of shiny paint, so the lights really reflect off of it, so the shading on the wings are not that extreme. It's a little more, gradual, but like holding the wing like that, you don't see any of the gradient at all. So go check out the pictures on Instagram. I got some close-ups of parts of the dragon, and I glued the head on just enough that I could grab like a handful of quick photos, and then the head like fell off. So I'm going to go in and I got to sand that and do some post-processing just so that's smooth again. Typically I would ship this disassembled. The wings are disassembled, and it'll be up to whoever receives this to like put the thing together. And then I still have the last piece that I have to finish on the dragon are the horns that go on the head and on the tips of the wings, because they are now on the floor. Just kidding. One of the horns is on the floor. So the horns are still dark blue. So I need to paint these in some kind of color. So I'm probably just going to airbrush these just straight white, and I'll do like a little bit of like weathering on them, so it looks like maybe the dragon's been in a bit of a fight or something like that. And I'll do like some shading on part of it. But it'll be up to whoever gets the dragon to actually glue these on so they can, make them stick out from the head, or like kind of point in from the head back into the neck or away from the neck or whatever. It'll be up to you to position these little horns. And then these much smaller horns, these break off. They're just all on a platform right now, but these go on the tips of the wings. So when we look at the wings, there's little sockets here on the back of the wing on each of these. So there's 5 points on the back of each wing, and you get a little sort of claw hook on each of these. So these will have like a little claw thing poking out. And again, you'll be able to kind of arrange that however you want. Crazy glue will hold these in. You will need to kind of hold the crazy glue for a while, but if you do 3D printing and you have gloop, that stuff is like darn near instant to like weld the plastic together. So you only need to hold it for like 2 seconds, and then the gloop is done. And so I still need to paint those horns and pick up the other one off the floor that just fell on the floor before Riker gets to it and thinks it's a yummy treat. So I'll get those painted up, and then we're going to give this away on May 2nd. So as soon as the month is over, all those daily giveaways are done. And when I stream on May 2nd, you're not going to be able to do exclamation point giveaway because the giveaway will be over at that point. But all of the entries that so every time I stream and you come in and you enter the daily giveaway, gives you an entry into the monthly giveaway. And then the monthly giveaway, it's just going through all of those entries. And we had like 80 entries or something for that dragon. So you get a pretty decent chance of getting that big, giant 3D printed airbrushed dragon. So it's all hand painted by me. Well, not all hand painted. Most of it's airbrushed, but I did go in and hand paint some detail on it. And we're going to give that away on May the 2nd. May the 4th is Star Wars Day, so May the 4th be with you. I'm going to be doing a live stream for work that morning, and I'm going to live stream later that night for me. We're going to give away like a big Star Wars kit. I've got 2 Star Wars kits in mind, and we're going to give one of those away on the stream, and that's just for funsies. And so it'll be, do you all want to see the kits? I can go grab the kits. They're like right here if you want to see what the kits are going to be. One's the TIE Bomber, and the other one is Luke's X-Wing fighter. And we're going to give those away. We're going to give one of them away on the stream. And we might do like a poll of some kind to try to figure out like which one of these we should give away. And, based on hype and, however many people we get in here, we'll figure out which one of those we're going to give away. And then we'll give that away to whoever enters the giveaway on that night, just for kicks, because it's Star Wars Day. I've got other Lego kits that we're going to give away kind of throughout the year. We're going to do another whole month-long giveaway thing in July. So every time I stream in July, we'll do the daily giveaways and then a monthly giveaway. We'll do the same thing in October. The one that I typically do towards the end of the year, it's typically something that you can like wrap as a present for holiday time and things like that, or you can just keep for yourself. Totally up to you. Last October, I think we were doing lightsabers. Betts was joking earlier about getting a lightsaber. I think I was actually giving away the occasional lightsaber in October. I might do one lightsaber, before the end of the month, but we'll see. I do need to kind of see how busy I'm going to be over the next week and a half, whether I can actually do a lightsaber for a giveaway. I may be doing one as a commission, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But May the 4th would be a good day to do a lightsaber too. I might see what I can do about getting some lightsabers going. And now that I've got the airbrush, I can really get in and do some really cool like detailing stuff on the lightsabers. All right, May the 4th, we're going to do 2 giveaways. We're going to do a Star Wars Lego kit, and we're going to do a hand-painted lightsaber. And the lightsaber has like a collapsible blade that kind of like collapses down into the hilt, and so you kind of flick it, and the blade will come out and whatever. So we'll do that for May the 4th. We're going to give away a lightsaber, and we're going to give away a Star Wars kit. Sound good? Everybody good with that? Everybody's suddenly extremely quiet in chat. You're either all fleeing or you're so excited that you don't even know what to say. But we'll do that on May the 4th. We're going to give away a Star Wars Lego kit and a 3D printed lightsaber. All right, we have one person that's really excited. One person is really distracted. I see how it is. It's all good. We'll figure that out. All right. I lost another browser window that I had open, and now I can't find it. There it is. All righty. Let's see. Today's coding day. So I like to find someone else to code, or someone else who's coding that we can raid into and say hi. I was accepted into a new team called Live Coders. And so we're going to go find another person in that community, and we're going to go see what they're up to. So we have somebody building an e-commerce platform. We have somebody doing add-ons for World of Warcraft. Somebody else doing game dev. Me. Somebody doing something in Russian, I think. We're going to go over to the e-commerce channel. So we're going to go right over to this person. I don't know them yet, so I don't know anything about their channel. I hope they're going to be okay. The last one we raided into was not extremely family friendly. Lots of folks dropping F-bombs and stuff like that as soon as we got into the stream, but did you hear a lightsaber and a dragon? No, we're not going to do a dragon as well. Although a crate dragon, on Star Wars Day, that would be kind of cool. Or a mythosaur. Man, so many things I could 3D print and give away on May the 4th in so little time. I've got a lot to do between now and May the 4th, so we'll see what we can get to. I'm going to commit to a lightsaber and a Lego kit, but we still need to figure out which of those Lego kits we're going to give away. In the meantime, appreciate everybody dropping by. Been going for about 2 hours. I'm going to keep going on this shout-out thing because I do want to get it going, so if you happen to see Twitch notifications that Ian's giving you a shout-out, it's just me testing this thing. You're still welcome to come by and hang out in chat because I need to have chat open in order to do it. But in the meantime, we're going to go right over to Dollar Dojo. I don't know this person. We're going to go meet them. Let's go do a raid command here. We're going to pull up a dad joke because you know me. I love me some dad jokes. Ian is shouting at you. Why am I shouting? Did I miss something? Or did I hear Westry just wins both? Yeah, sure. Yeah, you send me one of those Hawkeye bows, and I'll send you some dragons. How's that? And a Lego kit. Cool. Well, do me a favor, grab this dad joke for us. We're gonna go over to Dollar Dojo and go hang out over there. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you all late Thursday. It won't be at the regular time. It'll be a little bit later in the evening. But I will stream Thursday night. We'll do a quick giveaway. So it'll be a fairly short stream on Thursday. Oh, I said I would do a shout out. Har har. It's all good. All right, cool. Let's head over to Dollar Dojo. Like I said, I'm going to keep working on the shout out thing. So we'll catch everybody over there, and we'll see you on Thursday. See you, everyone.